Hello, students. We are about to celebrate our end of Unit 1 Social Studies unit, and we've been learning a lot about our community and different types of community, and I thought it would be a really fun way to end this unit by creating our own community. And there's a few things that you can get, or if you already have, that you can start doing that. So if you have Legos, you can build your community using Legos or Magnetile. Whatever materials you have at home, maybe some toys, you can build a community using those materials. Just making sure that you want to include a building where people could live, maybe a school, maybe a hospital, or a doctor's office, or a fire station, or a police station, and a grocery store, right? Because if we live in a community, we want to have a place where we can buy our groceries, our food. So you can go ahead and get started. If you don't have those materials or you want to be more creative and build your own, you can use paper and cardboard and crayons and colored pencils to make your community. I'm going to show you how to do that right now. You want to make sure that you have a cardboard, and you can even use a cereal box and cut it up and open it up and make it flat so the inside is not colorful, it's just blank. You can use that. If you have any kind of boxes at home that you're not using, you can open that box up and use it. You don't want your community to be too big because we don't have a lot of space in our house, so we don't want to take too much space. So I'm thinking that when you're building your community, if you take a piece of paper, get 2 pieces of paper, your community can be about the size of 2 pieces of paper, or it can be about the size of 4 pieces of paper. So you don't want to go bigger than this, and you don't want to go smaller than this. You want 2 pieces of paper or 4 pieces of paper, and then that will help you get started on building your community. You also want to have things like markers or crayons or color pencils to help you decorate your community. Like you want to have some streets in your community, some buildings in your community, and you want to decorate those things. Another thing that you might want to do is I shared some templates with you of different types of shapes. So for example, you might want to print out a shape like this, or a shape like this, or different types of shapes to start building your community. And then once you've printed out, you can cut it out. If you don't want to print things out, think about some boxes you might have at home, something small that could fit in your hand, and you can cover that up with paper or paint it if you have paint and make that your community, the building in your community. You can find different shapes boxes. You also want to have glue stick or tape so that you can cover this up with paper and tape it down or glue it down onto your flat cardboard surface. You also want to make sure you have scissors, because we are going to be, if you are using these materials or any types of materials, you might be cutting things out, so you will need scissors. Make sure you get kid scissors and not adult scissors, just so that we're safe, okay? And once you have all those materials, then you can get started in building your community. And I want to give you guys some hints of some things, because I started building my community and I got stuck. For example, I went ahead and cut and taped this whole building, but I didn't decorate it. It's blank, which is really hard for me to decorate when it's already in its shape. So you want to make sure that before you tape it up or glue it, you decorate on a flat shape, and then once you're done decorating, you can fold it and tape it or glue it together, okay? So when you're working on your community, make sure you decorate it first before you create the building. Hello. So I went ahead and I cut out my cereal box and I made it flat. And I taped my 4 pieces of paper around my cereal box. But I think I'm only going to use half of it. I'm not going to use all 4, so I'm only going to use half. And I'm just going to use one side. So kind of like 2 pieces of paper but I want to put it on cardboard or like cereal box or any kind of box that you have, because it's more sturdy and can hold all the buildings that I put on there. So I have it flat. I didn't decorate my my community yet. I do have my buildings. So I made a market. Here's my market, and you can see I have some color, and I have a place where they enter, and on the other side is exit. I also have an apartment building here. I made some curtains. I made a doctor's office, and I made another apartment building. So this is what I have for now. I also want to make a school and maybe a police station or a fire station. And so this is what I have. So I want to make sure that when I'm designing my community, I don't go ahead and start putting this in different places. I want to make sure that I'm thoughtful about how I'm putting it. So I might say, oh, I want to put this building here. And then maybe I'll put the market right next to it. And then maybe I'll make the doctor's office across the street. And then maybe I'll also have an apartment building right here. So I've kind of, as I'm building my community, I can kind of say, oh, okay, since this is the front of the building, maybe I'll make the street right here. I can make a street here. Maybe I can also make a street on this side, maybe just a little bit of the street, not the whole street. And I also see some empty spaces, so maybe I'm thinking, maybe I'll put the school over here. Maybe I can put a park over here. So I might have some trees that I have. So I took this shape and I made a tree. So I might make that as a tree somewhere in the park. Maybe I'll add some more trees. So thinking about where you want to place your buildings, and then think about where the roads are going to be. Okay, so as you do that, make sure that before you just start putting them in different places, first put it down before you glue it or tape it, and think about, hey, where does it make sense to put these buildings? And then where should I put my streets? And once you have your buildings laid out, then you can say, okay, I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to start marking my streets so I know where my streets are going to be. Now, if you see I have lines here, and that is where my streets are going to be. And then after I'm done, I can give my streets names. I want to make sure I label some buildings so that people know exactly what it is, especially if it's not an apartment building, but it's a market or a restaurant or a doctor's office, so that way people know. Have fun making your community. I can't wait to see it. Hello, students. I have finally completed my community, my diorama of my community, and I wanted to share with you my completion. This is my community. I'm going to kind of hold it like this so that you can get a bird's eye view. Here, this big one, it's a school. You can see it in the front. I made this a school. It says school at the top. This one right here is a doctor's office, and then I have a market. I have 2 apartment buildings. I also have a little park here with some green grass and some trees. And then I have a fire department right here. And then anything that's in black, you can see that is the street. And then the gray is the sidewalk. So I kind of made my community and I wanted to share it with you. And then tomorrow for part 2 of our project is we'll take our community and we'll draw a picture of it to make a map that will include a legend or a key and compass rose so we can tell the people where north, south, east, and west is in our community, and also the names of the streets. So when people they'll know exactly the name of the street and the name of your community. So if you are thinking of a name for your community, you can also write it on your map for tomorrow. Have fun building your community. Bye.